Thingo. Tonight, we go Afro-Latin with band Ozzo Matley, the cinematic potential of Australian comics, and we take Jason Donovan in for observation.
I'm doing fine.
Hello, I'm Amanda Keller and welcome to Mondo Thingo. And yes, tonight we'll get you up to speed on the unstoppable Jason Donovan and we'll be showing you some seemingly impossible musical duets. But before we dive into that, let's dive into a week of eye-catching events. And to help take us through it, Steve Canane.
Hi, Amanda.
What have you got?
I can't get enough of this ongoing Barney between the singer Linda Ronstadt, her fans, and also some casino proprietors.
Now, back up the truck. What was the Barney?
Okay, it started in a casino. Linda Ronstadt was singing Eagles cover songs at an Arabian Nights-themed casino in Las Vegas.
Perfect.
Doesn't get much better than that, does it? Surprisingly enough, they weren't booing at the start of the show. They waited till the encore. The fans went nuts when Linda dedicated a song, Desperado, to Michael Moore, the filmmaker, describing him as a great American patriot.
And what did they do? They started chucking stuff around,
Oh,
didn't they?
they tore down her posters, they booed her. Linda actually got escorted off the casino premises. She couldn't even check out of her hotel room. And the casino proprietor banned her and said, "You're never welcome at my casino again."
That's outrageous, isn't it?
Yeah, well, there's been a bit of a backflip though. The guy who's taking over the casino, he said not only will invite Linda back, but he wants Linda and Michael Moore to come on stage together and sing a duet.
That's a happy ending, is it?
It's not a happy ending at all. It's a bit scary, isn't it?
But I find it amazing that she's got into so much trouble over this. Dixie Chicks, their whole career almost came to a standstill because of some anti-Bush sentiments.
Yeah.
It's just extraordinary. And yet, some of America's top country stars have written songs that are pro-Bush and pro-war, and no one bats an eyelid.
Nothing's happened to their careers.
No, and some of the lyrics are extraordinary. We've got some here from Clint Black. This is I Rack and I Roll. You're going to love this.
I rack 'em up and I roll. I'm back and I'm a high-tech G.I. Joe. I got infrared, I got GPS, I got that good old-fashioned lead.
Good old-fashioned lead.
Yeah.
And he goes on to say, now you can come along or you can stay behind or you can get out of the way, but our troops take out the garbage for the good old USA.
And it does get worse, doesn't it, than Clint?
Oh, look, Charlie Daniels has a song, This Ain't No Rag, It's a Flag.
Now we're coming with a gun and you know you're gonna run, but you can't find no place to hide. We're gonna hunt you down like a mad dog hound, make you pay for the lives you stole.
Hunt you down like a mad dog hound. Unbelievable.
Well, I want to talk to you, Amanda, about some other songs that are causing offence. Malaysian Idol.
Oh, has it just started?
Yeah, it's been on for a little while now, and opposition parties in Malaysia are not happy about it. They're saying, we fear such shows will create a culture where Malaysians will become too emotional, spiritually weak, and hungry for fame and glamour.
Wow.
Sounds like it summed it up, didn't it?
Have we got any of Malaysian Idol?
Yeah, let's take a look at some of it.
Too high, can't come down. Losing my head, spinning round and round.
Hi, Bobby. Hi, Kim. You want to go for a ride? Sure can. Jump in. I'm a Bobby girl in the Bobby world.
I'm spinning around. Move out of my way. I know you're feeling me 'cause you like it like this.
Wow.
While I was happy with that guy's shorts, I was disappointed in the show overall because I wanted a kooky white guy who couldn't speak Malaysian properly so they could take the piss out of him.
Oh, like Flynn.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
William Hung.
William Hung was in American Idol and Flynn was in Australian Idol. Two guys who auditioned and were so bad, they've kind of become celebrities in
Even
a
though they're
mocking
being
kind of
mocked,
way.
yeah.
But the William Hung website is amazing. I looked at it during the week. There's a chat with William, win a date with William. He's performing in shopping centres, he's got albums out. It's extraordinary. And on the Australian Idol website, there's a whole section devoted to Flynn.
Sounds like you spent a bit of time on that William Hung site, Amanda.
I asked him to marry me, Steve. He turned me down, can you believe it?
The plague of Idol is now in 22 countries, including Kazakhstan,
Oh,
which
really?
surprised me.
Yeah.
But one redeeming feature for me about the whole Idol thing is the contestants rarely sing Eagles covers.
Oh, let it go, Steve. Why don't you just go and tear up the set?
I will. Are there any Eagles posters around here?
Just
Any
rip it
Linda
apart.
Ronstadt posters?
Thank you, Steve. I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Amanda.
Now, what would movie makers do without comics? They've made billions from the three big men of the comic world, Spider, Bat and super. Well, hitting the screens very soon is the anticipated cult comic hit Hellboy. Then stand by for Catwoman, The Fantastic Four, Garfield, and even Superman is putting on his tights yet again. So should Australian filmmakers be taking more notice of our very own comic book culture?
At the turn of the 21st century, Australian culture was under siege from the forces of mediocrity. Their films were soft and cuddly and nobody wanted to watch them. Their TV sets were colonised by celebrity chefs and Mexican water features. Their music driven from its home by armies of body-snatching robots. But all was not yet lost. A small band of heroes still held out, fighting for truth, justice and gratuitous sex and violence.
Recently, Free Comics Day forced Australian comic book artists to venture forth from the safety of their bedrooms, aptly demonstrating the breadth and vitality of the local industry.
Diablo is a fantasy adventure.
Bloom, and that was like a surreal adventure.
Moshi Moshi, an Asian culture anthology.
Knee Pockets, basically a collection of short stories.
We've got The Watch, the postmodern superheroes title.
Azarias, fantasy, manga.
Domino Joe, cartoony romance type thing.
Hollywood has turned increasingly to comics in recent years, and perhaps Australian filmmakers should be looking to the dizzying array of local comics for inspiration.
Because of the movements and changes in the digital media and the games market and the interactive market, these sorts of ideas are rich material for the film industry.
I think the Australian film industry needs all the help it can get. And I saw Fat Pizza.
Jason Paulus created the comic Hairbutt the Hippo in 1989. It's been a long journey, but he's now ready to take Hairbutt to the silver screen.
Hairbutt the Hippo is a hippopotamus private eye. He's the private eye that people go to, you know, when they've got cases that are too weird or unsanitary for the police to handle. Instead of buying a car like most sensible 20-year-olds, I decided to print my first commercial Hairbutt the Hippo comic and actually got distribution on Australian newsstands. I struggled on over the best part of the 90s and produced another 9, changed distributors a couple of times. I burnt out between the pressures of earning a living, trying to keep my girlfriend from leaving me, and putting out regular comics. It all became a bit much, but I never stopped drawing and being an artist. Eventually, I got offered a job doing a story for DC Comics, and that paid me enough money to get back into publishing my own work.
In the past, a few Australian comics have been made into movies, including the cheeky adaptation, The Adventures of Barry Mackenzie.
Which was a very successful film in its time, and if I remember rightly, I think it was the first Australian film to make over $1 million.
I really needed that. I was as dry as a dead dingo's donger.
The Barry Mackenzie comics were underground comics, so there is precedent for believing there's a marketplace.
I'm here to talk to you about a CGI animated live-action movie version of Hairbutt the Hippo Private Eye. I'm thinking, you know, it could be a cross between Ninja Turtles and Meet the Feebles.
I think certainly what you do when you're basing your work on an existing work, and it's particularly relevant, I think, with comics, is that you've established the tone. With a feature film that has been generated from an original screenplay, that is one of the issues that you have to deal with. You're creating a whole world, and keeping the consistency within that world is always a challenge.
Would you be seeing that as a story that took place in Australia, or are you seeing this as an amorphous place somewhere in the Western world?
I'm thinking of it as some sort of mutated version of Australia with elements of 1940s gangster noir.
Teenagers, kids, adults, males, females?
I'd like to keep it available to young teenagers. I don't see the point in trying to shock anybody with it.
The skill base in this country in the digital 3D animation, CGI, gives us a pool of talent and skill and technicians that would enable us to realise an idea like this in a way that we haven't always been capable of doing in the past.
If I could get Rusty Crowe doing the voice of Hairbutt, it'd be fantastic.
That'd be good.
Thank you very much for your time, Marion.
Thanks, Jason.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Look out, Hollywood. Hairbutt the Hippo's coming to get you.
Amanda, here are the designs for the new Mondo comic book we're planning, and I think you're going to like what they've done with you.
Oh, gee, I'm perky, aren't I? I love the boots. So what superpower did they decide to give me?
You're impervious to pillow hair.
Handy. Ah, George, look at you. I can see what your superpower is.
Well, it's a very tight-fitting costume, and I had to put the wallet somewhere.
Still to come, we'll be riding the wild roller coaster of Jason Donovan's career.
Yeah, it's good.
But now singer and TV star Jessica Simpson and her husband Nick Lachey, who are kind of the Sonny and Cher of the video game generation, are busy planning an album of love duets.
could anything be more perfect? And to celebrate this magnificent coupling, we thought we'd have a look at what strange combinations the poker machine of musical duets has thrown up over the years.
Today's R&B stars like nothing better than a cosy little duet. Missy Elliott with Little Mo, Beyonce with Jay-Z, J-Lo with LL Cool J. Lots of mingling initials generating lots of cash. But not all duets have been such obvious pairings.
They told me,
How did aged, cardi-wearing Bing Crosby end up singing The Little Drummer Boy and Peace on Earth with that coke-snorting bisexual David Bowie? Though it's possible one or both of them thought they were hallucinating. Apparently Bing didn't know Bowie at all, but had him on his Christmas special because his kids were fans. Sadly, Bing died a month before the special aired, and now it's Bowie who'd look good in that cardi.
Perhaps we'll see.
Rap and rock were sharing the charts, but they hadn't shared many songs before Run DMC's hip-hop reworking of Walk This Way, recorded with Aerosmith's Steven Tyler and Joe Perry. The song appealed to both mullet-sporting rockers and baggy-panted rappers, taking hip-hop into the pop charts, reaching number 4. Hip-hop artists didn't have to bang their heads against a wall anymore. Put Kid Rock and his trailer park hip-hop pimp rock in the same studio as Sheryl Crow and her mild soft pop, and you'll get a ballad called Picture, apparently. Kid must have lost the toss.
I found your picture today.
This sentimental sing-along has Crow and Rock contemplating a picture which holds unhappy memories. Perhaps this picture of Kid Rock's early days as a Vanilla Ice fan. Oh, so tough. Mix a dinosaur with a crooner and you'll get Australia's most curious twosome. Yep, it's the Wiggles headline act, Dorothy, belting out Sing With Me with Kamal.
Every note that you wrote, we will sing along with our friend Dorothy.
In all the excitement, the Wiggles forgot to tell Kamal it wasn't a black tie event, and not even Wags the dog would dance with him. And now the strange case of the gayest man in show business and his duet with the homophobic rap star. Jaws and man purses dropped when Elton John sang Stan with Eminem on the 2001 Grammy Awards. It seemed Elton was acknowledging that Eminem's anti-gay lyrics aren't serious, and Eminem was offering the hand of peace by singing about a young pregnant woman locked in the trunk of a car and being driven off a bridge.
You ruined it now. I hope you go to sleep and you dream about it.
So pairing oldies with youngies, rockers with rappers, and homies with homos can actually boost record sales. But if you're looking for absolute symmetry in a duet, look no further than this musical marriage made in heaven.
George, I've been looking at the rundown for the ABC Duets album. George Negus and Geraldine Doog are doing Don't Go Breaking My Heart. John Clark and Brian Dorr are doing I Got You, Babe. I thought you and I could do You Don't Bring Me Flowers.
Oh, right. So when I'm in the supermarket, people come up to me and say, why don't you bring her flowers, you cheapskate?
Well, I thought maybe I could be the one that doesn't bring you flowers.
Oh, so now we're compromising my masculinity.
Well, how about Islands in the Stream? Still to come, the all-singing, all-dancing Ozza Matley.
I'm giddy. Yeah. Woo!
Well, we've had our Jason Donovan appetiser and now it's time for our Jason Donovan main course. It's been a long journey for Jason since his mullet sporting role as Scott Robinson in Neighbours. His TV marriage to Kylie was the benchmark for fictional weddings. Well, until Michael Jackson married Debbie Rowe, anyway. And in a career that's seen highs, lows, and the occasional drop onto a nightclub floor, Jason has never really disappeared off the radar. We've grown up with him and been impressed by his resilience. You can see him right now starring in the London production of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, or even more right now, as we salute Jason Donovan in this Mondo cheat note.
With soap and pop stardom, endless stage and screen appearances, not to mention a major detour into drug piggery, Jason Donovan's career has taken more turns than the Great Ocean Road. And it all began 25 years ago.
But now
Growing up with actor dad Terence Donovan, it was no surprise that Jason's small screen debut happened early, in the archetypal 70s drama Skyways, opposite a deferential Kylie Minogue.
I'll let him go first.
In the early 80s, Jason's teen acting career took off, with minor roles in the ABC kids shows Bush Gang, Golden Pennies and Home.
He's not breathing. We've got to get him to hospital and fast.
Then in 1986, and just out of high school, Jason landed the plum role of Scott Robinson in the inoffensive family series Neighbours. A character that would help mould his squeaky clean image as the mullet-headed boy next door.
Didn't realise you had company.
An on-screen, off-screen romance with Kylie, a couple of Logies, and before anyone knew it, the pair were ready to make the leap from small screen to big league. In Neighbours Mad Britain, Jason and Kylie were the posh and becks of their time, the perfect platform to launch a skyrocketing career in pop. Jason's cheesy debut, Nothing Can Divide Us, went to number 5 in the UK charts.
With love to guide us, nothing can divide us.
But it was the even cheesier duet, Especially For You, that went right to the top in the UK, France, Greece, Hong Kong, Ireland and the Netherlands. Jason was huge. He sold out shows, his album 10 Good Reasons was the highest selling British album of 1989, and Smash Hits magazine voted him the most fanciable man in Britain. But his own music taste was questionable.
Vanilla Ice, yeah, this is quite a good one actually. Ice Baby.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's good.
After breaking up with Kylie in 1989, Jason released a trail of wet covers and scored the lead in the saccharine West End stage show Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. His 18-month run was hugely successful, earning him a paycheck of $100,000 a week. But all this fame came at a price. With such a high profile in the UK, Jason became the poster boy of a celebrity outing campaign. And when style mag The Face reproduced the poster, Jason sued and won.
This has not been a case about homosexuality, and I resent any suggestion that it was.
And though he returned over 70% of the settlement money to save the magazine from bankruptcy, Jason was despised by the gay community, and despite all appearances,
I'm doing fine.
His pop career headed south. So, in true celebrity style, Jason hit the party circuit, collapsing in nightclubs in London, Melbourne, and most famously, Los Angeles.
At Kate Moss's 21st, Michael Hutchins and Johnny Depp up on stage singing Gloria, and I'm doing a seizure third chorus in.
Not even a nude photo spread for gay magazine Blue, a stage turn as Rocky Horror's sweet transvestite, or wearing a dress in the gritty 1999 dance party thriller Sorted could wipe away the stigma from the Face case.
It's one of us.
But something was about to happen that would make him leave the party life behind. Now a family man, in 2001, Jason returned to where it all started, with star turns in the colourless straight-to-video feature Tempe Tip and the disappointing comedy Horseplay.
Major breakthrough in your career.
But it was back in TV where he made a real mark, with a meaty performance as feral abacus John Peregrine in the gripping telemovie Loot, and a critically acclaimed turn as seedy solicitor Richard Savage in the riveting adult drama MDA.
Yes, I am serious.
It's been a long journey from bunny in the headlights boy star, but Jason has kept his sense of humour along the way. And if his self-mocking performance in this Nick Cave video doesn't scream cred, he's now got the ultimate thumbs up, a 6-page spread in the last ever issue of The Face. Mondo Lingo, providing the must-have words for your vocabulary. This week, fur kid. When a couple lavish all their parenting impulses on a pet, that pet is a fur kid. Couples like fur kids because they usually don't live long enough to need expensive private schools. And their friends like fur kids because, unlike real children, you can plausibly claim to be allergic to them.
Ozomatli is a monkey that represents the Inca god of dance, but it's also a multicultural LA band that was arrested in Texas earlier this year for leading a conga line. Well, they've just been in Australia, and I had a chat with a couple of these conga line crims who also happen to be amazing Grammy Award-winning musicians.
Dip, dip, dive, socialize, get ready for the Saturday night. Dip, dive, socialize, get ready.
Welcome to Mondo Thingo, guys. Excellent. We couldn't fit you all in here because the floor's not reinforced. How many of you are there?
There are, last counting, 10 on stage.
Do you know each other's birthdays?
No.
No. I'm a little nervous, obviously, being in a room with some criminals. I mean, come on, we're going to have to talk about that. Yeah, you, and you.
Must be your camera people over there.
Come on, got arrested with a conga line? What happened?
Yeah, we spent a night in jail for playing music on 6th Street in Austin, Texas.
How
Yeah, Texas.
Because you guys have more fun up on stage than you can poke a stick at. How do you keep the energy going?
I don't know. I think we enjoy doing what we do, and it just shows, you know. I mean, we do music for a living, and we dance around like monkeys.
It's like dance music for the people to have fun, and you know, also with a message, you know.
Well, you're known for your political influences, your political message. What exactly are you trying to get across?
Right now, the biggest thing that we're challenging with is getting people behind stopping the war that's going on, and letting people know that, you know, there are definitely Americans out there that aren't down with it, you know.
How do you incorporate that into music?
Well, you don't want to be dogmatic about it. You don't want to be preachy, but hopefully people like the music, and then they get the message after. Just sneak it up on you. You're having fun, you're dancing, all of a sudden, what'd he say? Oh. And that's kind of it.
Now, you guys were in Drew Barrymore's film, Never Been Kissed. What was that like, being in a movie?
Drew's cool, you know. There was actually a lot of things that she did in that scene that didn't make it onto the movie. Originally, we were supposed to be out there and be like, oh, get off the stage, you know, like, oh, hating on her, you know, but we ended up laughing. So it looked like we were acting really well, but we're not good actors, you know. We're musicians, and we were just cracking up at her, and they kept it. It was cool.
Now, the new album, Street Signs. What's the significance of street signs?
On this record, I think we got a lot of, you know, inspiration from the street, and from there, it was almost like taking like a street sign and making that like a representative of the streets.
In your travels, have you seen any weird street signs?
Yeah. We did a lot of weird ones. Yeah. The weirdest one I ever saw was an actual trumpet, and it was crossed out.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that?
That was
It was an
Cuba.
actual, yeah.
Cuba.
And it was like,
Yeah,
why?
Asdru loved
They're
that
hating on trumpets. That's a disgrace.
Well, look, we've got a couple for you.
Oh,
is that right?
Look, here's one.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
And this,
The
look,
shark.
this one.
I want the shark one.
Wow.
They're for you. Well, guys, enjoy the rest of your tour.
Thank
You've
you
got
very
some more
much.
time in Australia, and then you're off to Japan. Are you all exhausted?
I'm giddy. Yeah. Woo!
Thank you for joining us on Mondo Thingo. Thank you.
Keep doing your thing-o.
I will.
Yeah, man.
Next week on Mondo Thingo, scooters, stovepipes and the mod revival. Queen Latifah gets the royal treatment
Got to give.
and we look back in awe at the best bitches on the box.
You're finally getting a taste of your own medicine.
Ah, yes, I'm afraid you'll have to wait a whole week for that. But that's all we've got for tonight's show, except for this little extra something. You got a taste of it earlier, one of the strangest sights in the universe. David Bowie and Bing Crosby doing a Christmas Carol duet back in 1977. In an interview afterwards, Bing said David was a clean-cut kid and a fine asset to the show. But Bowie's fans thought doing a schmaltzy Christmas song with a musty old square was a sellout. But in hindsight, it was better than anything Bowie did with Tin Machine. So for a little Christmas in July, here's more of David Bowie singing The Little Drummer Boy with Bing Crosby. Bye for now.
They told me, ba-rum-pa-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, ba-rum-pa-pum-pum. Our
Our finest gifts we bring, rum-pa-bum-bum, rum-pa-bum-bum, rum-pa-bum-bum. Peace on earth, can it be? Years from now, perhaps we'll see. See the day of glory. See the day when men live in peace away. So peace on earth.